Welcome to the Effective Living series. This is a program that we've brought to you this month of January to help you start the year right. It's on the theme Building Back Greater. And with this week, we're focusing on rebuilding personally. Today, my guest is a man who's not a stranger for this program at all. He's in the person of Patrick Otieku-Boadu. Patrick started working in a lot of companies. He's been consulting for many years. And now he's a certified expert in many fields. You have many certifications,
yes,
right?
Yes,
What's the latest one you got?
That is a heart maths certified trainer.
A
Heart math.
Oh, there's mathematics to the heart.
Yes.
Certified trainer.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Today, our topic is how to develop resilience advantage, and it's part of our Rebuilding Personally series. So, when you say developing resilience advantage, what are we talking about?
Okay, Bernard, thank you very much for the opportunity. You realize that we are all energy systems. When I say we are energy systems, what we are saying is that you wake up in the morning and all things being equal, you're supposed to feel energized. Okay, so you step out there and maybe right from the beginning, your kids at home start creating problems for you. You start getting angry, you start shouting. What you're actually doing is that you're losing energy. We have to eat. When we eat, you are supposed to get energized, and you go to work, you do activities, and you begin to lose the energy. So the idea from this is that look, because we are energy systems, we need to be able to learn how to renew the energy that we have, and then also plug the leakages that we have. So when we say resilience, we are basically talking about the fact that how to help people to be able to prepare for, recover from, and then adapt to in the face of challenges, difficulties, and adversities. Challenges will come, difficulties will come, adversities will come. How many of us are prepared for those things? How many of us are in the midst of the challenges? How many of us are able to recover from it? And then beyond that, in terms of the future, looking into the future, how many of us are able to adapt to the difficult and the challenges that today we are talking about the VUCA world, the fact that we live in the VUCA world. And many settings in business, in military, they are talking about, when we say VUCA, we are talking about something that is volatile, a situation that is volatile, a situation that is uncertain, a situation that is complex, and a situation that is ambiguous. This is the kind of world we find ourselves in today, even plus the COVID. So it's made it a little bit complex for human beings. So if we don't have the capacity to build resilience, to be able to face some of these challenges, then you are going to find yourself in trouble.
So you define resilience.
Yes.
To prepare for, recover, and adapt.
Yes.
To stress,
yes,
challenge, and adversity.
Yes. So if you don't have resilience, what happens is that you will burn out. You are likely to burn out, you are likely to struggle. But if you have good resilience, then what is going to happen is that you are able to calm yourself down in situations. For instance, you could be in a medical field, emergency situation, but you can still remain calm and still do your work and do it perfectly.
So we are basically energy systems.
Yes. So
we must learn to build resilience.
Yes. So Bernard, take it like your cell phone. You went home yesterday and you forgot to charge your battery. When you come today, because your battery is not charged, there are many things you will not be able to do. You get what I'm saying? There are many things you may not be able to do because your battery is run out. But when your battery is fully charged, so basically it's like charging your inner battery. That is resilience. When your inner battery is when people throw things at you in a meeting, you not flip and you not go ballistic and all that, because why? You have resilience. That's what we're talking about.
So when I'm getting angry because my producer hasn't put the slides up early, I am possibly burning out.
Yes, you're burning out,
and my battery is getting depleted.
Yes, exactly.
If I'm calm and I'm thinking clearly,
yes,
it means my battery is
fantastic.
Charged. I think your presentation is helping me because I am
I'll put you on a monitor.
I'm getting calmer and calmer. I see.
Yeah.
So are there any domains of resilience?
Yes, there are 4 main domains of resilience.
Okay.
And they work together. The first domain is the physical domain. Now, if you are you wake up in the morning, or let's say you come to the office and the elevator is not working, you are on the 13th floor and you're supposed to climb to the 13th floor. By the time you take the flight of stairs to that place, you'll be tired. And once you are tired, any little other thing is going to get under your skin. You get what I'm saying? So that is a physical resilience. Then we have the mental resilience, which we are talking basically about the mental flexibility, where your attention span. So if your attention span is suffering, then you have a problem when it comes to your mental resilience. Then we have the spiritual resilience, which has got to do with your values and the values of other people. what are your values and how are you able to respect the values of other people who are working around you? Because there's something that is important to you and there's something that is important to other people as well. Then we come to the main ticket here, and that is the emotional flexibility. And that is where we are talking about having a positive outlook towards life. Now, they work together. In other words, when people are emotionally unstable, remember, it can even affect them physically. It can affect their health because their heart to be beating faster. What it means is that their body is sensing danger or stress, or their body is sensing a stressful situation. And because of that, their heart will have to beat faster to be able to give them the kind of power to be able to go into fight or flight mode. When it happens like that, you are losing energy. That is why after getting angry or something like that, people get tired, and they work together. So we need to understand these 4 domains. They all
physical,
mental, spiritual, and then
you're arguing
emotional.
that emotion is
the strongest.
Is the strongest.
Is the strongest
of the 4.
Of the 4. Emotion is the strongest.
I
so we
see.
say that emotions are not matter, but they matter.
Emotions are not matter,
but they matter. What do you think that is? They are not matter.
So matter is anything that occupies space and has weight. So you can't see emotion.
Exactly. And yet it influences everything we do in the home, in the office, wherever. Even just a few minutes ago, you were getting worked up.
Yes.
Because that is emotion. They don't matter. They are not matter. They're not something you can touch, and yet it influences everything we do. It's even in the office. Let's note it. Now, there are 2 things, the 2 reactions when it comes to emotion. You either react, just something happens and you react, or you look at emotion by choice.
Okay.
When people usually react when it comes to emotion, we say they are immature. But when people do things by choice, so something happens and you choose how you are going to react, we say those people are mature.
So if somebody shouts at you, "Hey, foolish man!" I'm driving. You are foolish man. That's reaction.
Because yes, exactly, that's a reaction.
But if there's a foolish man, I say, "Oh, Ade." Yes, sir. That's choice.
Or you can even just smile and just go.
Or decide to just ignore.
Exactly, just ignore.
So when you react,
exactly,
in the direct way like that, you are immature.
Exactly. Now the interesting thing is that what emotion is related to values. And what are values? Values are what is important to you. And value is related to your heart.
Value is related to your heart?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you see emotion appearing, and whether positive or negative, what it actually means is that either your heart, or in this case, your value has been either validated or violated. If it's positive, it means that your heart or the value has been validated. Okay, the value has been validated. If it's a negative, it means that a value has been violated, and that is why you respond in that particular way. For instance, if you hear good news, somebody has just dropped 10,000 Ghana cedis envelope on your immediately, you see,
my heart's already beating.
You see, you get excited.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? But you hear also a bad news, what happens is that you also get
So you're saying that your emotions have a direct physical effect on your heart?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm going to show you a few examples.
Show me.
So, if you look at the screen, for instance, next you should look at the screen now. Over here, you see this is a wife, a husband and a wife. The husband got into the car. The wife was driving, got into the car, and then the heart. Usually, if you take an average human being, at rest, the heart rate is about between 60 to 100 beats per minute. Now, right over here, it just shot up. When he started arguing with the wife, it shot up toward 140. Beats per minute. Now, after about a few minutes, about 15 minutes, it didn't come back to the baseline. It stayed at the higher level. And this is somebody who hasn't got resilience.
So when the person annoys you and your heart goes up, even when you cool down, you've raised your heartbeat from about 60 to 80 to 100.
Yes. But this is 140.
Oh, Lord. And even when he came down
it didn't come to the baseline, and which means that he was still sitting there, cannot arguing, but he was still expending energy.
If you get angry a lot, you can kill yourself.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Now, if you go to the next slide, that is somebody who has resilience, who has gone through the training of resilience. There's a police officer who went to a domestic violence situation.
Okay.
This was the baseline, and then of course he had to look at the situation and counter the person who was made him angry and everything. And then, but because he knows how to bring himself back and calm himself, and he knew the dynamics of resilience advantage, he just brought himself back to the baseline, and that is the difference.
So is this a real person's heart?
This is a real person's heart.
Amazing.
And like I said, I have the device here, so after here, I'm going to demonstrate it for you.
Oh, you want to test my heart to see how my heart is beating? I see. So your point is that emotionally mature people have a more stable heartbeat,
yes,
and they are less likely to get heart attacks.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's interesting. This is the Effective Living series, and we're talking to Patrick Otieku-Boadu, and today's topic is pretty interesting. Patrick is a certified heart mathematician.
No. Heart math certified trainer.
So the relationship between your physical resilience, your mental resilience, your spiritual resilience, your emotional resilience just showed us some very troubling charts there. So what then do we need to do? What's the next
what
one?
we need to do is that now, first of all, you need to be aware that every time you are expending energy and then you are also renewing energy. But the difficulty is that many people expend more energy than they renew. When it happens like that, what happens is that obviously, just like spending more money than you earn, you are going into poverty. Is that okay? So in the same way, when you spend more energy than you are renewing, and when you say renewing, either through resting or through whatever, or through deliberately calming yourself, then you'll be able to balance it. But many people are not balanced, and what happens is that creates problem for them. It makes them start experiencing errors in their activity, health challenges, and then.
So there must be a balance between the energy expended, energy renewed.
Fantastic.
I see.
And you see the interesting thing.
So what are the energy expending activities and what are the energy renewing activities?
The top tickets are anger.
Anger wastes your energy.
Frustration. Yes.
So if you're angry, you get tired.
Yes.
Oh.
No, because you see, what happens is that when you get angry, what is happening is that your sympathetic, I don't want to go into the sciences, okay, but you take your nervous system. There are two parts, voluntary and the involuntary. The involuntary part, okay, has what we call, it's like accelerating of the car. So it accelerates your heartbeat. Okay. Now, so if that's where you begin to sweat and all that, but your heart begins to beat faster. Now, the parasympathetic also slows down the heart. It's like a braking system. So what happens is that when you are angry, you activate the sympathetic part of your
so you
nervous
expend
system.
energy when
you
you're
expend
angry.
more energy. So
what
anger,
are the emotions?
Fear, resentment, overwhelm, anxiety, hate. All these things are things that take a lot of energy. But you see, the danger is this. That is the big ticket that we know. There are other ones that are on the background. They are like soundtrack, which are the background. They are not big, and yet they are still taking a lot of energy. When you accumulate them, they also become big. For instance, it's just like driving home and then turning off your ignition, but your inside light is on.
Hey.
You may not know that your inside light
next
is on.
morning your battery is dead.
That is how it is.
So what are the background ones?
And the background one, we're talking about worry, sadness. Those little impatience, those little things that affect us, but it's like, oh, we don't take it seriously. And sometimes we are going to sleep, we are worried about something, and it even affects your sleep. You wake up and you are even tired because unconsciously, while you were sleeping, your mind was still working.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we need to plug the energy leaks.
So yes, that is the strategy is that either you have to learn to plug your energy leaks, and two, you also need to learn to fill the resilience.
So it's like a leaking bucket.
Exactly.
If the bucket has holes, you fill it.
Exactly.
But even if you fill it, you also need to open the tap.
Exactly.
Amazing stuff. Okay. So let's talk about how do you do that.
Okay. Before I even do that, let me even talk about the activities of the heart.
Okay.
Now, it has been established by a lot of, in fact, from 1800, by cardioneurologists, that the heart has an influence on the mind. And it's been established today. So what is happening is that now we know that whatever happens to your heart affects your mind. So over here, we are saying that your heart, the activities of your heart affect your perception, affect your emotion, affect your intuition, and affects your health. So we need to protect. So for me, it even makes the scripture.
Activities of the heart affects your perception.
Yes.
It affects your emotion.
Yes.
It affects your intuition.
Yes.
And also your health.
Yes.
That's serious.
Yes, but Bernard, that's why for me the scripture says that keep your heart with diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. It becomes so relevant for me.
Keep your heart with all diligence.
For out of it are the issues of it becomes so relevant.
Wow.
Because the heart is the seat. The heart is the seat, and it sends a signal to the brain. So where all the part of the brain that controls your decision making, it's affected by what the signal your heart sends to it.
Amazing.
And now it's been scientifically proven that, that is what it is. Okay. Now, what we are saying is that for you to achieve that resilience, you need what we call coherence.
Okay.
Coherence is when the heart, the mind, and your emotions are in sync. Now, when this is in sync, it means that, and there's a pattern that is generated. Let's go to the next one. Let me show you something. Now, if you go to the next graph, the next graph, you notice, I'll show you something. You see the graph on the left. This is an emotion when they measured people who are frustrated, irritated, impatient, and worried. This is the pattern we got. Okay, and that the device is here. We use the device. When you use it, this is the device. What you get. Now, when somebody is trained in coherence, in other words, when he's trained how to breathe, this is the pattern we have. And in this situation, the person becomes calm, appreciated, is patient, and is confident. In this state, it sends the right signal to your brain, and your brain can perform optimally.
So hold on. The red one on the left
Yes.
is showing somebody who's incoherent.
Incoherent.
And it's a bit up and down.
Yes.
If you are calm, your heart rate is more like
Yes.
stable.
Yes.
So this is where you want to be.
This is where we have to do.
You don't want to be here.
No. Even when you are here, you can still bring yourself here through what we call heart focused breathing, which I'll be taking you through. I wish heart focused breathing.
Heart focused breathing. I see. So, and you're saying what happens in my heart affects my mind.
Yes.
Because it sends signals to my mind.
Yes.
So if I'm here, what happens to my mind?
What happens to your mind is that you will not be you're not coherent, and therefore the resources that you need for your mind to be able to work will not be available for you. So you can't be that creative.
Okay.
You will not be able to do many things in terms of resources. You'll not be able to access the resources that you have. For instance, intuitive, you may not be intuitive over here. But over here, have you noticed that usually in the morning when you are maybe in the bathroom, you are sitting on the pot, ideas come to you. How come? Because in that state, sometimes you are at this level.
I see. Let's move on. We have a few more minutes to go. So we're still talking about...
So basically, we are saying that, now if you go to, this is what we are saying. When the challenges of life affect you, what happens is that when the challenges of life affect you, it affects your emotion. When your emotion will affect your autonomic nervous system, which is the ANS. The ANS also, which means that either the sympathetic or the parasympathetic will be impacted. Sympathetic means that your heart will be beating faster. You have seen a stressful situation, and your heart will want to beat faster to be able to accommodate it. The parasympathetic means it's slowing down your heart rate. Medical doctors measure the beats of the heart, but we are measuring what we call heart rate variability, the changes between each heart rate, which means that if you measure 1 and 2 and you measure 2 and 3, you realize that there will be a difference. And that is what we call the heart rate variability. Now, when the heart rate variability is high, what happens to you is that you are able to achieve resilience. Now, that is one way, that is if you are looking at the emotional angle. But there's another way to get there, and that is through what we call heart-focused breathing. So when you learn how to breathe well, and this has been knowledge of old. If you know how to breathe well, when it affects your influence HIV positively, you have that positive sine wave, then you have a good resilience. And therefore, when things happen to you, you'll be able to handle it.
So you call it the heart-focused breathing.
Heart-focused breathing
Technique. How does that work?
And it's very simple. Let me just take you through it. So focus attention in the area of your heart.
I should focus attention.
Just focus attention in the area of your heart.
Of my heart.
Of your heart.
I see.
Or your chest area. And breathe in deeply and calmly. Consistently you can do 5 seconds inhale, 5 seconds exhale. Do that for about 3 minutes. And just tell me how it feels now.
I want to sleep.
It makes you calm. The first thing it gives you is that it makes you very calm. Now, if you can do this 10 minutes every morning and 10 minutes every evening, what happens to you is that it makes you calm. And when you are calm, you realize that the energy for you to be angry is actually produced by the heart, the fuel. Here is a situation, the fuel has been taken away. The fuel for you to be angry, to be stressed, to be frustrated has been taken away. It means you cannot be angry. I remember one day attending a program, a family issue, and then there was a lot of conflict and agitation and things like that. I went with the team, and everybody would say, like, let's fight them, and I was so calm. I was so quiet. I was so calm. We went through everything. Way later, when we finished, the people who were agitating, they called me and they said that we were surprised at the way you remain calm in all the situation. And it's beautiful when
so
you
this
are able,
heart rate
rate variability.
This heart-focused breathing technique.
Yes.
has to be learnt, right? I just did it once.
Yes, but you can continue it. You can continue. In fact, there are paces that you can also use. I can show you some on your phone that you can download, and it will guide you. But for me, I have the monitor actually to be able to monitor and
so you can put this device on my chest.
Yes, I'll put it on your ear, and it will monitor your heart rate.
And as the heart rate slows down, you will know.
I'll be able to know.
And with heart rate, the slower the better.
Yes.
And you are mentioning variability.
No, where we are talking about variability, not necessarily the slowing. Okay. Like as a medical doctor will measure what is the heart rate, but I'm measuring heart rate variability. What are the change differences in each beat? Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is just one technique that I'm showing you. There are other techniques, but of course, I will not be able to do everything here. So this is just one of the techniques you can do. That is the first technique, heart focused breathing. So if you could be driving and something like that, you go into heart focused breathing and immediately you remain calm. You are going into a meeting, you can prepare for the meeting by doing heart focused breathing. Before I entered here in your office, I was doing heart focused breathing. So you come here and you are calm.
That's how you are delivering like that.
And you are calm. And you can take things easy.
What you spoke about things that cause agitation.
Yes.
What emotions and feelings create coherence? Because I think you said that coherence is where all the components are working together. Yes. So what are some of the emotions and feelings that can create coherence in a person?
Calmness, joy, happiness, tolerance, patience, compassion, kindness. Sometimes just giving something to somebody out there, that this person doesn't need to give you anything. How do you feel?
When you give, you feel better.
You feel better.
What you've said a lot in a very short time. Yeah. So I have two questions for you.
Yes.
Is this something you can come and run for an individual or a company?
I can run for both.
So you can come and do it for managers. You can come and do it for leaders.
Yes.
For individuals.
I can do it for any, in fact, especially people who are actually at the frontline staff, managers, everybody.
And when you do generate a report that recommends?
Yes, I can generate a report for you. Yes. The device will help me to be able to generate a report for you to be able to monitor.
For each individual?
For each individual, yes.
And you can teach them how to?
Yes, easily.
I see.
Easily.
So how do people get in touch with you to do this then?
Or if you want to get in touch with me, just call 020-6500-004 or www.spearheadconsult.org.
Spearhead Consult, okay. So can you repeat those numbers? I think I saw a slide on Spearhead Consult. If they can put it up for us, it will help.
So it's 020-6500-004 or www.spearheadconsult.org.
So if you are watching on television, that's how to get in touch. If you are listening on radio, it's 020-650-0004. Before you go, you've written a lot of books. I want you to touch briefly on some of the materials you've written.
Okay.
And so that people who want to read more about.
All right. Yeah. So this is what we call the 40 motivational capsules. It's 40 principles that I've shared with you based on scriptures that is supposed to motivate you, give you that motivation every single day. Okay, build your heart resilience.
So that's 40 motivational capsules. Your latest work is on customer service.
Yes. That's what we promoted last year.
Can I see this? So this book is an amazing book. I read it. I think I got it last year. Really nice print. What's the most important message you are putting out in this book?
Well, this is saying that the customer service is all about managing emotions. It's not all the scientific things you have to. It's about managing emotions of customers. So how do the customers feel when they come to you? Are they happy? Are they excited? Or they are not happy? So that is what you are doing. So that is the essence of this book, that everything in there is supposed to help you manage the feeling of a customer. And once the customer feels good, he keeps coming back to you and bringing his money back to you.
It's a new book. I recommend it for managers, I recommend it for customer service people. Then there's the pursuit, how to effectively set goals and achieve them. This was done much earlier than this one.
Yes.
And then there's also missions
and mandates. That's on purpose.
Yes,
that's on
missions
purpose.
And mandates. There's the Rainmaker.
Which
is
is
the biblical
finance
model for world creation.
And then assurance of His presence.
You are a man of God, aren't you?
Well, this one was given to me when I had an accident with Michael at Cape Coast.
Amazing.
After that, for the moment, I didn't know where I was. Whether I was here
or
Ohinifa, yes. So when I came home, I realized that this dropped in my spirit, and I wrote it.
We will do the heart test, but we won't do it on TV because the results are classified. So I may bring him back later in the month to come and work through another part and do a practical demonstration. But this has been the second day of our Effective Living series, and we're trying to talk about building resilience advantages. Part of our first week, rebuilding personally resetting your mind. And today we had heart maths, heart mathematics. So build resilience, don't be an energy waster, block the leakages, and hold it all together. My guest has been Patrick Otieku-Boadu, who's a consultant. He's a certified coach of many titles. He's a big man. If it was a karate man, he would have had black belt. He's a major guy. What's your website?
www.spearheadconsult.org.
Get in touch with him, and you would learn a lot. That's all we have time for today's edition of the Effective Living series. My name is Bernard Avele. We'll be with you next time. If you are watching this online, click and like this video and share it as well. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.